Hi, this is Mr. Yi, and this is my tutorial on how to color your coloring book page using Adobe Sketch. This is the finished product here. First things first, you want to open your file and start a new project in Adobe Sketch. So go to your desktop, find Adobe Sketch, the icon on your desktop. If you don't have it, you can download it from self-serve. You first need to create a new canvas, new project, by choosing a format. There are a bunch that are here already. I made my own format. I made the size of a piece of paper, 11 by 8.5. Make sure it's at 300 ppi, pixels per inch. First, you want to create a new layer by hitting the plus sign on the right side. Add layer, choose an image that's on your iPad, go to your photos, and pick the coloring book page. It will automatically transfer to a new layer on your project. You want to then size up the way you want to by putting two fingers on your screen and moving your fingers apart. You can transform that image so that it fits into your borders. You can also resize your image by dragging from the corner of your image and moving it a diagonal to the corners of your project. After you've resized your image, you can hit done in the top right hand corner, and that will allow the transformation. Now we want to arrange our layers on the right side of your image. You see three squares. The middle layer should be your image that you imported, and that's a coloring book page. The background layer is the bottom layer, the layers beneath everything. The top layer should be your sketch layer. You can rearrange these by holding down on top of the square and drag into whatever order you'd like to have them. Make sure that the top layer, the sketch layer, the mode is multiply. That allows you to do all your coloring on that layer, and it won't change the middle layer. If you notice on the left side, I'm playing around with the different tools we have, all your drawing and painting tools on the left side. You can see the top one right now are the different brushes and pens and pencils that you can use. By holding that brush down, you can see your three circles. The top one is how thick or thin your brush or your pencil is going to be. The middle one is how opaque or transparent your brush is going to be, and the bottom circle is your color swatches. You can choose what color you want, tapping on it, and then your picker comes up, and then you can choose the color that you like. You have on the bottom how dark or light your color is as well. By holding the top circle and moving your finger up or down, you can choose the thickness, and then the middle one, obviously by the same way, you can move it up and down, and it becomes more opaque or less opaque. Those three lines on the bottom have different dynamics and contrast and things like that to further manipulate your brush. Once you have the brush that you like, I'm using a watercolor brush right now. Start coloring on your top layer. Do all your colors on your sketch layer, the top layer. Again, make sure the mode is multiply, and you can get to your mode by tapping on the square of that layer, and your menu will come up to the left of it. Make sure that it's on multiply, so that way you can color without manipulating or changing your picture, your coloring book page, that you want to stay, everything be black. As you can see right now, I kind of colored over the letters a little bit, and you can see that, so I'm going to change that in a minute. Here I'm picking more colors, and then my color picker here, see my values on the bottom there, and I'm now coloring the bushes on the side. You can also get an eyedropper by holding down the color the circle and holding it down and moving it up, and your eyedropper will appear. So this way you can choose a color that's already in your picture if you want to do that. You can see the effects of different brushes do different things. The watercolor will bleed and looks like a wet media, and it behaves that way. There's a fan icon on the bottom of your brushes there. If you hit that, it'll dry your paint exactly as it is. Okay, but you can see how the paintbrush bleeds and looks like it's dripping because it is a watercolor brush. If you chose the acrylic brush, it looks much different. So I'm mixing a lot of colors together because I want this to look like a painting. I got some highlights and shadows in there, but you can do whatever you want to do. Yeah, if you notice, the letters are blacker now, so it doesn't look like the paint covered over them at all or changed it at all, because I had changed my layer to make sure the top mode was multiply. Okay, if it's a normal mode, then the colors will look like they're on top of the black, and I didn't want that. Remember, the point of this assignment is just to have fun with it, be creative. Coloring relieves stress. Do whatever you can. Do work within your abilities. Have fun with it. The colors don't have to be realistic. I'm kind of making them a little bit realistic, but more realistic. But you can do whatever you like with it, and just really, again, have fun with it. As you can see in a second here, I'm going to start blending in some darker colors in the sky. I'm going to choose a slightly darker blue, and I'm going to color the top of the sky darker and let it blend down to a lighter as you get to the horizon line. That's called atmospheric perspective. Now I'm also rendering some clouds in there using white paint on the brush. You don't have to do things like this. This is just a little more advanced for people who do draw already. Kind of just gives it a little more depth and detail. Here you go. Here's a happy little cloud for you. If you look at the top right, upper right of your image, there are a couple different icons which are more tools for you to use. The first one looks like an arrow that's pointing backwards. I'm clicking now. That undoes an action. So every time you hit it, it's an undo button. You go back one step. The next one has a triangle and a circle. Those are your different shapes. You can get different templated shapes from there. You can also get a ruler in there if you want to make straight lines. You can trace the edge of the ruler to make straight lines. The next tool look like 3 pieces of paper, like layers. Those are your layers. You have more options there for your layers. The next tool is a square with an arrow pointing up. That is your save and upload icon. You can use that to save your work, export your work, etc. Just tap the icon under share, hit image, and then another menu will pop up, so then you can tell it where you want to send it to. You can save it on your iPad, put it in your Google Drive, or share it to something else. Okay, that wraps things up. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and remember to have fun.